Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the issue of cheetah that is been decided by the government to be reintroduced in India. So in this particular video we are going to discuss about what is this reintroduction program, what are the main objectives of this reintroduction program, and how cheetah will be rehabilitated in India, which is being brought from the Africa. But before that, first let us try to understand the context in which we are discussing today's issues. So recently, India and Namibia both have signed a MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding, to reintroduce the African cheetah in India. The MOU was signed by Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change from the Indian side, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, while the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Namibia, Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, she was the one who signed MOU from Namibia side. And after the signing of MOU, now the focus of both the government will be in the areas of cooperation in the field of wildlife conservation as well as sustainable biodiversity utilization. The main basis, or we can say the main aim with which cheetah is being reintroduced in India, is basically to conserve the cheetah in both the countries, and that can be done by way of exchange of expertise, sharing of good practices, as well as use of technology and sustainable management in the field of biodiversity. Now let us try to understand the background in which all this program has been initiated. So the cheetah reintroduction program is not some new theme. It has been there since 1960s, 1970s. And the reason behind that was that in 1947, the same year in which India got independence, there were confirmed record of cheetahs' presence in India. However, few years later, there was incident where the last 3 surviving Asiatic cheetah, who were also male, they were gunned down by the Maharaja Ramanuj Pratap Singh Dev of Sarguja estate. Sarguja as of now is a district in the state of Chhattisgarh, and this hunting or killing of this cheetah has happened in what we call today as Ghasidas National Sanctuary. Then due to this incident, further in year 1952, Asiatic cheetah, the species of cheetah that was found in India, was declared extinct, and also currently it is categorized by IUCN as a critically endangered species, and the only Asiatic cheetah that we find today in the world in the wild population is in this country of Iran. So how the government plan has evolved with respect to the cheetah's reintroduction into India. So the beginning of the program happened, as we discussed, early in 1960s and 70s, when the government officials wanted to reintroduce cheetah in India. And in this regard, the attempt was made to bring back cheetah from Iran. As we discussed, Asiatic cheetah were only found in the Iran. However, the Iranian government has clearly said that they are not willing to part of their cheetah, they are not willing to transfer cheetah's population into India. And the main reason given by the Iran was that there is already a critically low population numbers of cheetahs in Iran, and most of them are found in the wild. So that is why by transferring of these cheetahs into India, Iran did not wanted to decline their own population of cheetah. Then further, the next effort was made by Dr. Jayanagar, who was then Environment Minister under the UPA government. So in September 2009, he made an effort to bring the cheetah by focusing on the Cheetah Conservation Fund that is located in Namibia, or he also said that you can also look at the captive facilities that is based in the South Africa. So this was the main boost or main flip that was provided in the recent time to reintroduce cheetah back into the wild this wild of India. Now, why the delay? Since I discussed 2009 was the year when Jayanagara talked about this initiative. The main delay was because of this project called as Asiatic Lion Reintroduction Project. As per this project, in the Kottapalya Wildlife Sanctuary that is situated in the state of we can say Madhya Pradesh, at that time it was decided that since in India we have only one place where Asiatic lions are found in their natural habitat, and that is the Gir National Park of Gujarat, and thus this whole group of lion that reside in the same area are thus susceptible to any viral outbreak, any disease outbreak, or even any kind of natural disaster. And that is why government was trying to relocate some of the Asiatic lion from Gujarat to Madhya Pradesh. However, the Gujarat government was not willing to part with their land, as they considered this as a pride of their state, and that is why the controversy emerged, and finally the matter was referred to the Supreme Court of India. While looking at all the instances, or looking at hearing from both the sides, both the state government of Gujarat as well as the central government, finally the Supreme Court of India says that now we are looking at two programs. One is in the Punopalpur, you are also trying to introduce cheetah. At the same time, you are also trying to introduce Asiatic lion. So in that case, the order of Minister of Environment and Forest to introduce African cheetah into Puno cannot stand in the eye of the law, and same is cost. The main reason is because we are trying to import cheetahs from foreign country while we are ignoring the need of Asiatic lion to be reintroduced first into the Punopalpur sanctuary of Madhya Pradesh. Then further, National Tiger Conservation Authority in year 2016 filed a review petition against this decision or this verdict of the Supreme Court, and they said that cheetahs, introduction of cheetah to the Punopalpur will be very beneficial because they will help in conservation of the other species in the sanctuary as well, including the grassland regions of the same sanctuary. And it is in this petition finally the Supreme Court gave a go-ahead to reintroduce cheetah back to the wilds of India. Now if you look at this map clearly shows the area of relocation. This is the Gir region where we have the Sasan Gir forest where the Asiatic lions are found, and they basically have to transfer to the Kuno that is in the northern part of state of Madhya Pradesh. Now once Punopalpur Wildlife Sanctuary has been decided as the main place where the cheetahs have to be reintroduced, a panel has given certain recommendation that what should be taken into consideration before reintroducing cheetah back. So first is that there should be active management of grasslands by removal of certain grass species and selective and controlled use of cattle for the management. Second is the dogs that are found in this region should be completely vaccinated against the viruses such as canine distemper virus, parvovirus, etc. Third, there should be enhancement of protection through the recruitment of ex-army personnel, and also the government should emphasize on filling of the vacant post of field staff who are engaged in anti-poaching activities. Fourth is there is a need to create a soft release enclosure measuring 1 square kilometer with a fence of about 2.5 meter height. And last is the prey assessment is required because the last prey assessment happened in 2018 and that is almost 5 years back from now. So new prey-based assessment is required before reintroducing the cheetah. So these are the 5 major recommendations given by the panel recommending the changes that need to be introduced before cheetah can brought to India. Now what is the main objective of reintroduction? So as per the government officials, they say that reintroduction of cheetah will re-establish the ecological function in Indian grassland which was lost when cheetah became extinct, Asiatic cheetah became extinct in 1950s. Similarly, the second objective is also that reintroducing cheetah will establish a viable cheetah metapopulation, and that will allow cheetah to perform its functional role as a top predator, and that is why it will be beneficial for the whole food chain or the food web of the wildlife. Similarly, third is that it will provide also the space for expansion of the cheetah within its historical range, thereby contributing to the global conservation effort. And this reintroduction and the transportation of cheetah and everything is done as per the guidelines given by International Union for Conservation of Nature, that is IUCN. Now how will reintroduction be achieved? So it will happen in several stages. In the first stage, what is termed by scientists as a soft release will be taken, where the cheetah will be introduced or cheetah will be sent into this Punopalpur Wildlife Sanctuary area, and first of all they will be introduced just in 500 hectare areas, and they will be monitored continuously by a electrical fence, and it will be area with electrical fence so that cheetah do not deviate or do not go out of that region. The reason behind this is very simple, because cheetah are coming in those areas, African cheetah especially are coming in those areas where there is certain changes in the ecology, certain changes in the weather system, certain changes in the grasslands and the food habitat and all these things. So that is why how they are coping up with this new changed environment is very important or very vital to understand before they can be introduced in the whole wildlife region, this Punopalpur Wildlife Sanctuary. Then second stage, it also government officials have said that before cheetahs can be reintroduced completely into this Punopalpur Wildlife Sanctuary, the leopards that are already found in these regions, they will have to be necessarily moved out of the territory, because both cheetahs and leopard are predator species and they have the same prey base, and that is why there is a very high chance of conflict and competition between these two, which can cause decline in the population of both predators. And similarly, the third is the government officials have said that on demand on this question of whether the sufficient amount of food is available for the cheetah or not, they have said that as per the recent estimate, there is more than 15,000 to 20,000 spotted deer. That is more than enough for the cheetahs to prey upon, to hunt upon. And even if suppose this prey base falls short of the requirement of cheetah, Then from nearby Pench National Park, that is also in the Madhya Pradesh, some cheetahs can also be introduced in case of shortage. So there is no dearth of availability of food or availability of prey for the cheetah. However, there are certain challenges that obviously the government will face while reintroducing them back into the Madhya Pradesh. What are the challenges? The first important challenge is the ability of the cheetahs to adapt to the Kuno's foreign environment, because the cheetahs which is being introduced right now, they have lived in Africa and especially Namibia region of Africa for such a long period of time. And if we compare the ecology of Namibia with the ecology of Madhya Pradesh, what we see, we have two major differences. First, in the Madhya Pradesh region, we have very higher rainfall, while Namibia is largely a desert or arid kind of region. Second, in Namibia, the temperature goes as far as sub-0 degrees, like below 0 degrees Celsius, while in Kuno Palpur, temperature rarely goes below 15-20 degrees Celsius. So this differences in rainfall, differences in temperature, and how cheetahs will be able to cope up with this change environment is something that is going to be a challenge, and that we have to see and observe before finalizing or before celebrating the success of reintroduction program. Not only that, several environmentalists have criticized this step of government. The reason behind is that the one environmentalist have said that as per the current plan of the government, there is going to be 21 cheetahs that will be reintroduced in about time period of 15 years, and this number are too few for them to have any significant impact on the ecology and the habitat of the area. Second, if we talk about Asiatic lion and compare with them African cheetah, we know that Asiatic lions are definitely higher up the food chain, and obviously there already was a proposal to transfer some of the Asiatic lions from the Gir National Park to the Kuno Palpur Wildlife Sanctuary. So why we have ignored the Asiatic lion, which we could have transferred very easily? They would have played more important ecological role or more better ecological role in the Kuno Palpur region. And third, that use or thinking of using cheetah as a charismatic flagship and umbrella species is also a faulty step, because we already have animals such as Indian wolf or the great Indian bustard who can act as a charismatic flagship and umbrella species. So why we are doing so much effort? Why we are like also taking risk of reintroducing cheetah into a different kind of climatic environment? So that is all about this particular issue, as this reintroduction program just has begun. So we have to wait and watch that how all these different steps goes on, and what are the real challenges that the officials, especially the forest officials, will face on the ground level. So we'll update you with any significant changes if it happens. Till then, take care. Thank you very much.